everyone, Firstborn 5 Meteorologist Melissa Meeder here on your Monday morning. We've got kind of a lot coming for our new week today, though. As you can see, we're generally, pretty quiet, but it's a cool morning and there's maybe a little bit of sunshine starting to peek out, but overall it's generally a mostly cloudy morning at this point. What can we expect going forward? Well, there's kind of a lot going on, and we're going to start with today. I mentioned today, pretty quiet. We're cool. We're cooler than we have been, but it's warmer than yesterday, which is a step in the right direction. Yesterday was kind of a shock to the system after feeling like late spring, summertime, and then we were in the 40s and 50s. So today will be warmer than that, but it's still cool. We'll see more sunshine, and then we start to see some changes. By Tuesday afternoon, temperatures will be warmer. It'll be windy, and then that's ahead of Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, which brings the round of strong to severe storm potential, and that is going to bring a first warn on the table. So really, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, all modes of severe weather are possible. Damaging winds, hail, and a few isolated tornadoes. We'll kind of walk step by step of what we can expect for Tuesday into Wednesday's time frame. Then after that, we're still looking at a pretty active week. The second half of the week still sees multiple chances for some spotty to scattered rain showers. First warn in place on Saturday for the better chance for rain, but also it's going to be cool again. We're not feeling like springtime when you think about, April starts tomorrow. Well, April will have a warm start, but once we get towards, a few days into April, it's not so warm anymore. So for our Tuesday night severe risk, all of us are highlighted in yellow. That's a 2 out of 5 risk for strong to severe storms. Widely scattered strong to severe storms will be possible. Large hail, damaging winds are the primary threats. Isolated tornadoes are also possible, and some heavy rainfall as well. So a level 2 out of 5. This then overlaps into Wednesday morning. So by Wednesday, the system is going to be pretty much pushed out of the area. So we're in that 1 out of 5 risk in our eastern counties for whatever is left over. I'll show you that track in just a second. But hail and damaging winds are the primary threats. We're talking Chillicothe, Marshall, Warrensburg, and Sedalia. So I think for Tuesday morning, maybe a few spotty showers, light rain showers, but otherwise we're looking at cloudy, windy conditions for the rest of the day on Tuesday. We could see gusts up to 35, 40 miles an hour. So while it will be warmer, it will be windy. Things are dry until we get to about 10 o'clock at night on Tuesday. If you look up towards the northwest, rain and thunderstorm activities starts to move in. And then by the time we go through the overnight after midnight, it starts to move into the metro starting at 3 a.m., kind of along the I-35 corridor. I think between 3 and 5 a.m., it'll be moving through the metro. And then by 7 o'clock, it's going to be moving pretty quickly. So it'll be out towards our southeastern counties, Clinton, Sedalia, Warrensburg, Marshall. This still has the potential to be some strong to severe storms. And so when I showed that Wednesday morning severe risk, this is what it's accounting for. So these storms still left over by 7 a.m. And then by about 10, we're looking at dry conditions across the area. And I think we start to see a little bit more sunshine, maybe breezy conditions. And then, temperatures will be warmer, which will be a good thing. When we think about how much rain this could bring, we do have a light risk of some flash flooding potential. And so heavy rainfall is going to be possible with this. At this point, it generally looks like maybe a quarter to 3/4 of an inch for those generally east of the I-35 corridor. I had to think of my directions there for a second. So east of the I-35 corridor, generally between a quarter, 3/4 of an inch. But where we start to see the storms set up, maybe some pockets of heavier rain, around an inch to about an inch and a half, isolated areas, of course, higher than that. So I think most of us, though, will probably fall less than an inch across the area, but that chance is still there. So we could see some healthy rainfall from this. Now, right now, it's cool out there. We've got cloud cover. It's starting to break up a little bit, as you can see, kind of some sunshine peeking through those stratocumulus clouds. Temperatures, though, are in the 30s. It's 38 here in Kansas City, 35 in Bethany, 40s down towards our south, like in Harrisonville, Butler, and Lacine. So it's a cold morning and feels like temperatures are generally around the freezing mark across the area. We haven't been feeling this chilly in a while. So keep in mind that you're probably going to need the jacket when you're heading out the door this morning and really throughout the rest of the day, because it's not going to get all that warmer, especially when we've been used to the 70s. So feels like temperatures are generally around the freezing mark or slightly lower. We've got a light breeze, 5 to 15 miles an hour, with temperatures that are on the cooler side. That can make a big difference. So as we go throughout the rest of the day today, I mentioned cloud cover will start to move out. So that will help us warm up. By 11 o'clock, we're in the mid-40s, low 50s. By the 2 o'clock time frame, we see more sun. And then by the time we get to 5 o'clock, we're looking at temperatures around 55, our high temperature. And then we will generally be mostly clear as we go through the rest of the evening. I mentioned those high temperatures around 55. We're going to be in the lower to mid 50s for most of us. Some of us will be warmer though. 57 in Lawrence, 58 in Ottawa. Those look to be the warm spots for this afternoon versus the rest of us. So I mentioned much warmer for our Tuesday and Wednesday. 65 on Tuesday, 70 on Wednesday. And then I mentioned things start to change when we get towards the latter part of the week. Unfortunately, the 50s will be back, as well as we're keeping this small chance for some spotty showers too. So Saturday brings our next first warn that's in place. And it looks like scattered activity is going to be possible. Maybe some pockets of heavier rainfall later in the evening. That continues into your Sunday morning. So overall, just know that for Tuesday and Wednesday, that's just about as warm as we're going to get over this next 7 days. Tuesday, of course, being the start of April. So myself, as well as the First Warn 5 weather team, will be watching and monitoring Tuesday night into Wednesday very closely. With that being said, it's an overnight event, most likely. Most of us will be asleep as these storms are moving through. So make sure you have several ways to receive weather alerts. If any watches or warnings go into place, you will be notified. So that's just a little heads up. We're going to continue to monitor Tuesday night into Wednesday very closely. And I hope everybody has a wonderful Monday and grabs their jacket when they're heading out the door. I put my Ugg boots on today because my rule is if it's under 60 degrees, I could still wear my Ugg boots. So looks like they're going to get a lot of use over this next 7-day period. Okay, I hope everybody has a wonderful Monday and a wonderful rest of the day.